Hi, boys and girls. Today in religion, we are going to actually turn to the back of the book and continue talking about Lent and now Holy Week. So if you could get your religion book and turn to the back to page 344. Page 344 in the back of your religion book. Page 344. So we are less than 2 weeks away from Easter, which means we are only 1 week away from one of the most special times of the whole church year, which is called Holy Week. Holy Week is the 3 days before Easter, and we're going to talk about a special word today that means 3 days. At the top of page 344, we start with something that Jesus said, "Take and eat. This is my body." During Holy Week, we celebrate 3 very holy days, which we call the Easter Triduum. Triduum means 3 days. This is the most important time in the church year. The Triduum begins on Holy Thursday evening. Now, you might remember something very special that we remember each time we go to Mass happened on Holy Thursday. On Holy Thursday evening, we remember the special meal that Jesus shared with his followers. This meal is called the Last Supper. Read again Jesus' words at the top of this page. Jesus said, "Take and eat. This is my body." Jesus spoke these words about the bread shared at the Last Supper. Jesus gave his followers his body and blood in the Eucharist. He did this to show his love and concern for them. That is the first day of the Easter Triduum. Good Friday is another holy day in the Triduum. On Good Friday, we remember the suffering and death of Jesus. We remember that Jesus died on the cross because of his love for us. And we've talked about a few different ways that we can talk about Good Friday, which would be the ultimate sacrifice, the day that Jesus died. So there's many different ways, and that's why these 3 days are so important, because so far we've shared the Last Supper, which he gave us those special words that we now say at Mass. Father Bob or Father Melnick would say at the Mass each time we're ready to receive communion. And then the second day is the day that we remember that Jesus actually died on the cross. The third day in the Triduum is called the Easter Vigil. On the night of Holy Saturday, we begin our celebration of Jesus's rising to new life. We begin our Easter celebration and our new life in the risen Christ. So Holy Saturday is the night before Easter when we would remember that Jesus is going to rise. The Saturday before Easter is a very popular time for men and women in the church to be baptized. And it is often celebrated at the Easter Vigil. Now let's look at the next page, page 345. Page 345 has 3 sentences I'd like you to fill in. These 3 days are called the Easter Triduum, and Triduum means 3 days. So I want you to write the correct day under each sentence. We have Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday. First one, we remember the Last Supper. Which one of those days do we remember the Last Supper? I hope you picked Holy Thursday. Holy Thursday is the day that we remember the Last Supper. The second one, We remember the day Jesus died on the cross. That's the second day in the Triduum. And I hope you picked Good Friday. We remember the day Jesus died on the cross as Good Friday. The third sentence says, we begin to celebrate Jesus's rising to new life. Which day are we almost to Easter when Jesus has risen? We begin to celebrate Jesus rising to new life. That third day is Holy Saturday. So the third blank you want to fill in, Holy Saturday. Now, before we start number 2, I want you to look at the bottom of the page in that little pink shaded area. There's a nice prayer. It also goes with the story we read yesterday about Father Damien. It says, "Dear Jesus, your love for all people never ends. Thank you for loving us today and always. Amen." Now, number 2 says, think about these 3 holy days. We have Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday. I want you to pick one of those days and draw a symbol or picture for one of them. For example, the symbol of a cross could stand for Good Friday. If you were thinking about Holy Thursday and the Last Supper, maybe a picture of a table with Jesus and his disciples sitting near it. If you were thinking, like they gave you the example, Good Friday, maybe a cross. Remember, Jesus had to carry his cross up to the place that he was going to be crucified. And then Holy Saturday is when we begin to celebrate Jesus rising to new life. So maybe a symbol for that could be Jesus now off of the cross, rising to his new life with God. So I want you to take a few moments and work on page 345 and create a nice symbol for just one of those days. And then when we're back together, we'll share all of our symbols and we'll see who created what symbol for each of those special days in our Holy Triduum.